Right, so these are some of the tools you'll need. If you look at the headset there, that's because my wife's been nagging me to put all this stuff up, the wallpaper, and hopefully I'll be able to come inside without wearing them. Anyways, this is the stuff you need here. You're going to need some type of scraper. This is like a brush to help take out the bubbles. You need a joint roller. Very inexpensive stuff at you can buy any home hardware or Lowe's or Home Depot. You're gonna need scissors to cut. You're gonna need a pasting brush for the glue, a level, pencil, a knife. I don't know, did I say scissors? I need scissors to cut the paper, and a screwdriver or a drill, anything to remove any wall plates or fixtures. I myself have to remove a couple of screws, wall fixtures, and I have to remove the mirror. All right, so that's basically it, and the X-Acto knife to cut as well. All right, then let's get cracking. Moving any parts of your alarm. Just be wary because a lot of times will trigger it. You get a false alarm, and some companies will charge you. Actually, most companies will charge you. Being an electrician, I can do this without calling them up. I know how to bypass it, but be wary of anything with the alarm. Call them up and tell them what you're doing in case you do have a false alarm. They know it, and usually they'll tell you. They'll ask you what time, between what time you're going to be working on it, and stuff like that. But be wary of any alarm parts. And when you're removing light fixtures, anything like that, it is electrical. Make sure, usually a light, just the two wire like you see here, black and white. Once the switch is off, the power is off. But to be safe, if you're not comfortable with electrical, maybe hire an electrician to just remove the fixture for you, make sure there's no power there for you to work with. And also, when you do the switches and plugs, when you're cutting around it, you're going to be doing an X, so it's not too bad, but when you're pushing the paper around the sides, if you do have power on, make sure you're very, very careful. I suggest just turn off the breaker and to that area, and you'll be safe that way. And sometimes the switches and the plugs are on different circuits, so just get a little test or something, or even plug in a light bulb or something into the plug, make sure there's no power. Alright, so what you do is you're going to measure your roll. I'm not sure if they're all the standard size and everything. This one here happens to be 21 inches. So when starting off in the corner, you're going to measure, I like to go maybe an inch difference, sometimes half an inch, and you're going to do your first line. I'll show it next. And that's where you're going to start. You're going to cut out the excess, and this is due to if your wall's off-center or crooked or anything like that, you'll hide all the imperfections in the wall by getting that line. Alright, so that's now next step is I'm going to mark 21 minus the 1 inch, so 20 inches, and I'm going to get my level and make a straight line up and down, and that'll be my starting point. So I bought, I'm not going to tell you the brand because there's so many brands out there, I'm not promoting anybody, but I went with already pre-mixed, so basically all I got to do is put it on. They're the ones you mix part water, part powder and stuff like that. I just find that you really got to read the instructions. Unless you do it all the time, you're probably better off for a couple dollars more, just buy the pre-mixed stuff. And I do apply it on the wall. I don't apply it on the paper. Reason being is when the paper is wet and stuff, it's really hard to work with. When you put it on the wall, paper's light. You can move around a lot easier. You put it on there. When you got it in position, it'll stick on just the same. And when you apply the glue, the line we did, remember to overlap it by about an inch or so, and that will set you up for the next roll of paper. And the reason we do that is because when you have the paper up and you go put on the glue, you don't want to put glue on the outside of the paper, on the front. So this way prevents that. And if you do get some glue on the paper, wipe it down right away with a damp cloth. You don't want any of that glue in the front. Alright, so I'm up here measuring 20 inches, which is getting old. I need my glasses. Okay. My 20 inches, and you get your level. And it's very important to get this first line because if you're off here, actually, as you go along, it will multiply. So by the time you come back around, you'll be off by a lot. So take a little bit of time, make sure this is leveled and before you start. Seem to be right. Off a little bit. So mark the one I'm going to use and continue down. Okay, that's pretty close. Lined up the pattern, mark the bottom, fold it over to square it off, like so. And now I'm just cutting off the excess. So you don't want too much because I tried it before, I had a little bit too much paper on there and it will fall off. So that's it, so that's the bottom. Now I'm going to go back, roll it up, and mark the top, come back here, cut it, and then I have my piece. After marking it, I just made a little tear. Just fold it over in itself, square it off, more or less, like so. And I have to say, my wife always picks stuff that's so hard for me. This paper is not the greatest. It's very easy to kink, and it's like almost like a cloth pattern. And I think sometimes she does it on purpose to torment me. Alright, I'm going to take that over, because it's in the door. I have to make some cuts. So after cutting the first one, I'm going to do is, they're all about the same height. This particular wall, everything's the same. So I'm just going to cut one test piece a little bit longer, because remember, you have to match up the picture. So you might have to move a little bit more.
The pattern.
So,
match the pattern.
I was corrected by my wife, and she's right. Match the pattern. This is the wall where the mirror goes, and the light there, the sink is down there. And I have a gap. If you can see this, there's a gap here, and down there is wider. These walls are in square, and I got my square here, I got my level, and I confirmed that. So what we're gonna do is, in order to get an even, I'm gonna split it probably down the middle, because it's 21 inches, and I have, okay, Dan, can you hold that for me? So I have 21 inches for the roll. So overall I have 35 and a half. So 35 and a half, that's 17 inches, I believe, 17 and a half. 18 inches there. Let's say 18. Okay, so it's gonna overlap. Hopefully I can catch there. But this whole thing would be leveled off. Because the sides are off, so I have to overlap anyway. So I gotta get the center, draw a line down there, and work from the center over, from the center over. Got that? Alright, so we've done the front here where the mirror goes and the light, everything. And then I decided to go from the window over so we can use a full piece, that way we don't waste it on cutting it. And I should have thought of that when I started it, but I needed a straight edge to start, and yeah, as I go, it's a really tight area, so it's really hard. It's a hit and miss here. It's really tight to work with. We got a window, you got a door, and the corners are off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna match this side here to the corner, match the pattern. I really don't care about the back, and I'll do the same on this side here. It's hard to get in there because I have the ladder in the way. And I'll leave that to the end for the offcuts and stuff. So right now I'm going to continue the pattern right across the small pieces, and then right to the corner, and if there's a space in the corner, I'm going to match it right up to the corner. And then the back I'll do the same, a half and half, so you get the full piece, and that should be it. It looks like it's sticking up, looks looking good. A few little bumps here and there that I've been squeegeeing out along the way, but overall not bad. Pretty well done. I do have to do a couple touch-ups here and there. I'll do that tomorrow when everything's dry. All in all, it came out okay, and not totally disconcerting. It was a hard place to do it in. It's really tight in here, and we're having the sink over here. You have the toilet over there, and windows and everything, and it's literally like 3 feet here. It's really tight. And I have 9-foot ceilings, so it's even harder to get all the way up there. If there are 8-foot ceilings, I can use it just with a small little stool. But because 9-foot ceilings, I have to use the big ladder. It was really hard. So I put these plates back together. Now I'm just gonna put the light fixture back up there, the mirror, and I'm gonna put the alarm on right there. I'm actually gonna put it on now so we can arm it tonight. And that's it. So I wasn't too happy with the corners. There was this slight gap in there. The paper really didn't cut that well, so I went out and I bought these little reverse quarter rounds. And I got the lightweight one. I think they're like a poly material. Just cut them to length, and I used some no more nails glue and just put them up like that. And I thought it actually made it look nice. And my wife now wants me to do the crown molding in the ceiling because of that. So yeah, another job. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.